funny group chat therapy. Do na 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 na. Do na na.
Hi, hello. It's Kelly BL Chef. Welcome to the channel. We do a lot of BL and GL here and sometimes music. And today is the Sometimes Music Day. We are going to be listening to Is It Love, the first duet for Gemini 4th on the Riser label. I'm super excited because we're making history today. So, if you didn't know, many of the artists at GMMTV, there's two sides to that coin. There is the side that's making the dramas, the series, the TV shows. And if you didn't know, and I think it's important for people to understand the difference between the different companies. There's GMMTV, Demundi, which is DMD, the management side that manages the artists, and then Mandy Works that produces the shows. They work in tandem, but they are separate. And then there's BOC who creates its shows, and BOC used to do artist management. It is starting to stop doing that. And so now, is there something in my teeth? Um, and so now, as their contracts end, you'll see more and more artists leaving BOC. It's not because anything terrible has happened. It's just really difficult to run an artist management company along with a production company. You also have Wabi Sabi, which director knew who directed um, um, Perfect 10 Liners, Between Us, all of those shows. His company as well is tapering off its artist management, which is why so many artists have moved to GMM TV and other places. So as their contracts end, I don't know that he's completely given up artist management. It doesn't look like it at this time, specifically with the Forever You group. But but yes, that he has lessened his artist management as well. I say all that to say at GMM TV, there is an artist management side to it. There is the production side to it, which is where we get all our shows. And then there is the music side, which is Riser. And so not every actor is a singer, but many people who come into GMM intend to do both. I get so annoyed when people are like, "Oh, let this artist art let the actors act and the singers sing." Some of them are trying to do both. Some of them it is part of their contract that they actually have to act in order to sing. The whole thing GMM is trying to do is like this creating idol like synergistic kind of approach where either you use the fame it for years it's been build up their fame through acting so that they can sell better as a singer. So the actual arc was to singing. I don't know why people act like it's so crazy when some of these actors start singing. Like that was the arc they were supposed to be on. And then now recently with Tempo, they're deciding, well, can we do it the other way? Lycan was already doing quite well, but how do we get them to a bigger audience? Let's put them in a series. And it worked. It worked to the point where now Lycan is the first T-pop group with a world tour. So love or hate GMM, there is method to that madness. It is not as ridiculous as some people tend to say it is. Um, and along the lines of the artist side of things, the artists really are able to showcase their work. Um, Puin writes his songs. Uh, uh, Jasper, that group has a lot. They actually Puin helped write some of the music for Jasper. Pon's dance group that he works with, was brought in to choreograph. So Santa, the first song he performed under Riser was his song. Perth has performed his song. Nanon writes his music. So I think it's really important when artists are able to present themselves as who they are. So even though they're creating idols, I think when people hear that, they think that everyone is packaged a specific way. And what I found really interesting about the approach to Riser is that they are actually able to be themselves under Riser. to that extent that, and it's not just them, it is very rare, regardless of sex. I'm going to say this, regardless of sexuality, just because of the music world, it is very rare to see the actors who are now musicians, when it's time for them to make a music video, they almost always have a female counterpart. It is very rare across the board for male artists to have male counterparts in their music videos. And I know you're right now thinking of a million, right? Think about them outside of their show. This is not an OST. They're not promoting a show or their couple. This is under a music label when they are producing their own music. It is almost never that they're actually having a male counterpart. One of the first and the most consistent is PP Crit. His solo music has always had a male counterpart in the music video, always from the beginning. And I know he was one of the first to really push that home because other Thai idols were getting emotional over his videos because of the level of fame he had reached and was willing to do this, put male counterparts in his videos. He, and then recently we had Fort do it from Fort Pete. So he had an opportunity. He could have not had Pete been involved at all in his music video. It was done under his label that he created. It was his song that he wrote. He could do whatever he wanted. It had nothing to do with his pair. It had nothing to do with Me Mind Why. It had nothing to do with his BL pairing at all. And he decided in his private work to include Pete. And then the other good example of that is Taku Off Road. Under their personal music, Tau has had Off Road as part of it. And he's also had Lil Apo in one of his videos. He had two artists in one of his videos. So these are just examples of the way that I think representation in the music industry is changing. And we're at a place where it's more acceptable outside of like the BL label for artists to have male counterparts in their music. I just want to make sure it's understood how important this is and how what a big deal this is. And this is under GMMTV's riser historic because they didn't do this before. But times have been changing. I love to shout out progress when it happens. I don't think we do it enough. Everybody's always kind of dogpiling on everything. And so when progress happens, we don't talk about it. So Gemini Fourth are both under riser. They have both done solo work, and all their solo work has had female counterparts. This is the first duet under riser, and they are each other's counterpart within this duet. That's a really big deal. And if you dismiss it as some like BL stuff, that's going to frustrate me because riser is separate. Riser is where the artists get to define who they are, what their music style is. They have more control under riser than they do under their GMMTV actor BL pairing. So I don't. This was not, and the reason I know because Gemini is very, he's very straightforward. He reminds me there are certain artists like Off, Gemini, Bilkin that are, in my opinion, really straightforward. I would say Thomas. They have a hard time faking it. They just say what it is and how it is. And I watched him beaming about this video, beaming about this song. This was, I'm just kind of heading off all of the people. I can just hear the chatter around some of this stuff. And this is to prepare for their concert. They do have a concert coming up. But again, typically when they have concerts, as opposed to other stuff, even these fan cons, they have a lot of say-so. Perth and Santa had a lot of say-so. June just did a post the other day where he said he's been planning for a fan con for a really long time. They get to pick their guest, you know, they get to pick the style of music. I just think people think it's more controlled than it actually is. And I think it's really interesting how much these artists have some creative license in these areas that we're not seeing. We're getting to see a level of authenticity, and I think they should get credit for their voice, even though people assume it's not their voice. So, all that being said, y'all know I talk too much. Y'all know it. All that being said, it is time. I'm going to switch over. Do you guys like my new layout? I have a new layout. I'm very proud of it. I'm going to switch over. Give me 1 second. I swear there was something in my teeth. And we are going to watch the music video. I talked so much. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I have captions on or off. Pretty. Go ahead, Ford. Hold up. I'm so sorry. It's so wild hearing these people grow into their voices. Do you hear his tone? Lil Fourth, you're all grown up. You're all grown up.
แปลงที่เธอกับฉันเปิดฟังให้ฉันเป็นอะไรมันเกิดอะไรข้างในจิตเธอมันโดนแผ่นดินไหวแต่เมื่อวานก็ยังไม่มีอาการวันนี้มันคืออะไรเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมไม่ผิดใช่ไหมฉันใช่ไหมที่ใจมันสั่นได้เจอหน้าทุกวันทำให้ฉันคิดถึงอีกแล้วเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมช่วยหน่อยได้ไหมคืนเธอไว้ใจตรงนี้เข้าใจที่เป็นนั้นคืออะไรเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมนะเธอ
This is Gemini style too. I can tell why he was excited about this. ก็นั่งยิ้มคิดถึงเรื่องของเราเหงาใจทุกที่และทำไมตอบสักทีไม่กี่วิขอดูที่สั้นนั้นมันเกิดอะไรข้างในสะเทือนโดนแผ่นดินไหวแต่เมื่อวานก็ยังไม่มี So are they checking out each other's books? Oh, and leaving messages. This is what was happening in the sign. Oh, not the sign. Not the sign. Shine. Oh, not them reading together. Cute.ทำให้ฉันคิดถึงอีกแล้วเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมช่วยหน่อยได้ไหมคืนเธอไว้ใจตรงนี้เข้าใจที่เป็นนั้นคืออะไรเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมนะเธอเรียกว่ารักได้ไหมนะเธอOh, cute. Okay, wait. Okay. There is something I want to know. I want to see who wrote it, guys. Okay. Now, sometimes they get to help with the writing. I don't think they did on this one. We got producer. Okay, no. I always like to check though, because sometimes you get a little surprise where somebody gets a writing credit or something. This is super cute though. Subtitle. That was really sweet. No, that was so cute. I do want to check one thing because I'm starting to wonder: did they do a duet for the Run tour? I'm gonna do Gemini fourth duet. Gemini fourth duet. Good time. Original but okay. This one, you're blushing. So they may have done this. Is this for the? Is this an OST or was it for their concert? Because as I started thinking, I was like, I feel like they might have, but does it say Riser Music? If it doesn't say Riser Music, then it doesn't count. Nope, GMMTV Records. No, I don't think they've. It's the first duet under Riser. Okay, I needed to make sure I wasn't telling you guys wrong. For a minute, I was like, did I just go off and then be totally wrong? No, all their duets were under GMMT Records, not Riser Music. So I am not wrong. I am not wrong. Oh my gosh, his voice. Okay, I'm gonna go back. How do I get back? How do I get back? Oh no, that's my friend Chair Bear. That was my friend Chair Bear. Which you should go watch his stuff. He just started a channel, Jer Bear. So this reminds me of the. Are you guys watching Shine? It's the last scene in Shine last week. This is gonna sound good live. All right, say Gemini. I see you every day, but I'm at night. I miss you again. Ooh, it's pretty lyrics. Okay, it's so pretty. Okay. Hit that note. I like da 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 da. The lilt down that he does right there is really pretty. Okay.
ได้ไหมนะเธอ
If it's love, is it love if no one? Is it? I wanna. Is this love? If a fake pencil line left beneath the sentence, no name, but somehow we read it, though no words were ever written. Is this love? No one says it, but the room remembers anyway. Ooh, I like that. I actually really, really like that stanza right there. Anyway, that was really good. I like hearing their voices mature. Excuse me, mature. With Gemini, I hear more vocal control. So his he's not running when he does his runs. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He's not running when he does his runs. There's more control there. We're hearing him kind of decide where he wants to go with the notes, and he's intentional about it. And he always, it's like having raw good vocals and then honing in on them. It's why specifically Bilkin is a specific type of vocalist because he is trained, like trained, like years of training, vocalist training. And so he has so much control over what he's doing and where he's going, where Jeff is trained, but also raw. So there's a wail to what Jeff does, right? It's like, it's so guttural, but it's also trained. So it's not out of control. It's not going where it doesn't need to be going, but it's more raw. It's more primal. That's the word. Jeff is primal, but he can do the loud and soft, right? Uh, uh, Bilkin is more on that R&B side, and he is more, but he's not trying. He has been working on his runs, but everything is a little more contained. It's not primal. It's more like in the pocket, in the zone. That's Bilkin. And so with Gemini, I'm hearing him. He had the ability to do a lot vocally, but now he has the control to execute it. I don't know if I'm saying all of that in a way that makes sense. I hope so. And then with Fourth, it's that tone. He has grown into his voice. Because remember, Fourth was not a singer. This was not Fourth's calling. This was Gemini's calling. He just happens to be really good at it. And so you can train somebody who has natural talent. And that is Fourth. Fourth is just oozes everything he can do, he just does. He's probably one of those people that makes you insane because they're like, oh, do you want to go ice skating? I've never done that before. And he's like doing spins on one foot before the night ends while you're on your butt. Like, I feel like that's Fourth. That's what Gunn is. Gunn is that person too. There are just some people who are just crazy talented. Mark Paquin, crazy, just an athlete. He could sing, he could do everything. Like, there's just some people who are like that, and I think that's Fourth. But yeah, he's got his tone now, and it's rich and it's smooth. I could feel that it's not a kid tone anymore. It really got me in the beginning. Right here. I think it's right here. No. Here. Oh. When he comes in, hold on. Ooh. Dying. Oh, the tone, the way he holds those notes, it's buttery. And there's a little lilt on the yin. Sir! Little Fourth's not Little Fourth anymore. I used to teach youth choir, so whenever I see kiddos turn into adults and like you hear their voices like grow up, it makes me like, oh, the babe is not a baby anymore. That's a big boy voice. I know he's 20, 20 now? Is he 20 or 21? I don't remember. It doesn't matter, and it's not me infantilizing them. Don't make it weird. When you teach, I don't know if anybody else is. When you teach, your kiddos are your kiddos for life. I see in the grocery store, I'll see one of my babies that I taught, and they'll be like, Miss Kelly, Miss Kelly, and they're like 20 something, and they still call me Miss Kelly. Um, and they still like update me like a little kid, telling me what they got on their school paper. And I didn't even teach school. I taught kids choir for like 10 years or something crazy like that. But those babies were my babies, and I nurtured them in their little voices. And so when you hear those voices mature and you hear them get control over them, it makes me emotion. It's a little forced voice being all like rich and smooth, and that very clear tone. Like it's not just having a voice, it's finding your voice. And I feel like he found his, and it's so good. Okay, my little heart, I can't take it. Okay, that's it. That's enough. We're done for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
I think I need good child.